Okay, welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting really specific, looking right into a technical guide.
Yeah, it's all about loading a config file, a CFG file, onto an Okuma machine.
And it uses this specific piece of kit, the FlexiDrive-MV unit.
Right, the FlexiDrive-MV. It often bridges the gap, between modern storage like USB and older machine interfaces. That CFG file, it's basically the settings blueprint for the unit.
So our mission today is simple. Quickly unpack the steps in this guide, see how it works, straight from the source.
Exactly, because sometimes these super detailed guides, they tell you a lot about the underlying system just by how they tell you to do things.
Okay, so let's dive in. The guide lays out a very precise sequence. What's first?
Well, interestingly, it starts with what not to do, or rather what to undo. If there's already a USB drive plugged into the FlexiDrive, step one is take it out.
Right. Clear the decks first, then comes the button pressing.
Oh yeah. Step two, press button 2 and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's specific hold it for 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Not just a quick press. Nope. 5 seconds gets you to the internal disk menu. Precision matters here.
And it doesn't stop there, does it? Step 3.
Step 3 involves button 3. You press it 5 times.
5 times, like you're cycling through options.
Exactly. Tap, 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 until the screen shows menu setup, custom setup. It feels very deliberate, very mechanical.
Almost like inputting a code. Okay, so you're in custom setup. What's next? Button 4.
You got it. Step 4, press button 4. That takes you one level deeper to custom setup load config.
So remove drive, hold button 2, press button 3 5 times, press button 4. You're navigating purely by button counts and holds.
Pretty much. It really highlights, this might be an older interface design logic relying on these very explicit physical inputs. Less flexible, maybe?
Seems like it. Okay, so now we're at the load config screen. What happens?
Only now, at step 5, do you press button 5. And the machine actually asks you, insert USB thumb drive.
Ah, so the timing is critical. You don't plug it in until it prompts you.
Correct. Which brings us to step 6. Insert the USB drive. And the guy's quite picky about the file, right?
Very. It says the file must be named okumamv.cfg, and it has to be right there in the root directory, not tucked away in some folder.
Gotcha. okumamv.cfg, top level. Okay, drive is in, file is ready. Step 7.
Now, you use the UP or down WN buttons. The guide doesn't specify which numbers these are, interestingly, just UP-WN, to find and highlight that specific file, okumamv.cfg.
Makes sense. You might have other stuff on the drive, but you need that one.
Precisely. And once it's highlighted, step 8 is pressing button 8. That's the trigger. That tells the machine, okay, load this file.
And then you wait. Step 9.
Yep. Step 9, the screen shows loading. So yeah, you just hang tight for a moment.
Until, what's the signal it's done?
Step 10 tells us the screen changes back to displaying custom setup load config. That's your confirmation.
Okay, file loaded. But you're not finished interacting yet. You have to back out properly.
Exactly. Step 11, press button 11. That returns you to the previous menu. Menu setup, custom setup.
And then one more step back.
Right. Step 12 is pressing button 12, which takes you back further up the menu tree. Again, specific buttons for exiting.
And the grand finale, step 13.
Remove the USB stick. Job done. The system's configured and back to its normal state.
Okay, so zooming out, what this guide really shows is a very structured, very rigid process.
Absolutely. It's all about a strict sequence.
Yep.
Prep the unit, navigate menus with exact button inputs, holds, counts, everything, then insert the USB, select the exact file, load it, wait, and then exit carefully using specific buttons again.
So the main takeaway here is really the lack of wiggle room. You have to follow these steps precisely as written, no shortcuts.
Yeah, for anyone doing this, or even just trying to understand this machine, knowing that sequence is absolutely crucial, deviation probably just doesn't work.
It really makes you think, though. This procedure demands such rigid adherence to these very specific numbered steps. How does that kind of strict sequential approach compare to other technical processes or interfaces you might encounter, ones that maybe allow for more user flexibility or different ways to achieve the same goal?
That's a great question. It highlights different design philosophies, maybe driven by the hardware's age or its specific function. Definitely something to chew on when you look at other technical instructions.